There is no end in sight to the lockdown yet in China's economic hub of Shanghai. On Monday, Shanghai reported a record 13,000 new asymptomatic coronavirus cases. The lockdown was originally set to end today in the city's western districts, but following the surge in cases, the lockdown has now been extended until further notice. Authorities are trying to snuff out the country's most severe virus outbreak since the end of the first pandemic wave in early 2020. Around 25 million people remain locked down in China's largest city and financial center. As much the Shanghai situation is jeopardizing China's zero-COVID strategy, it is also turning out to be extremely costly for the world's second-largest economy. Along with sporadic lockdowns, the country's worst COVID outbreak in 2 years has brought factory closures as well. Official data showed China's factory activity shrinking in March. Last month, China's factory output slumped to its lowest in 2 years. Official PMI figures indicated that activity had contracted at the quickest rate since October 2021. PMIs are a key gauge of activity in the country's factories and can be seen as a more accurate reflection of China's economic situation. Since February 2020, both domestic and export orders fell at the fastest rate. This was when China was battling its first coronavirus outbreak. The Chinese government has set a target for the country's GDP to grow by 5.5% this year, but analysts have said it will struggle to meet that goal. Shanghai is the world's busiest shipping port. It is a hub for semiconductor, electronics and car manufacturing. Given the COVID outbreak, some companies have temporarily reduced or even stopped production. Electric automaker Tesla has cancelled resuming production at its Shanghai factory. Tesla's Shanghai factory produces cars for the China market and is also a crucial export hub. Production has been halted since March 28th after the government launched a two-stage lockdown. The US automaker had originally hoped to only halt operations for 4 days, but eventually cancelled production plans after the authorities extended tight movement restrictions. The current stoppage marks one of the longest suspensions since the factory started production in late 2019. Due to rising infections from the Omicron variant of COVID-19, the Walt Disney Company has also closed the Shanghai Disney Resort. It is the flagship amusement park complex in China, which has been shut down since March 21st until further notice. The lockdown has further delivered a huge blow to revenues of small businesses in the commercial hub. COVID-19 restrictions have also taken a heavy toll on the Chinese travel industry. China's 3 biggest airlines have reported wider losses. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.